to the latest video with Money to the Masses. As you can notice, there's a bit of different scenery here today. That's because we asked you to ask any mortgage questions that you may have, because we're going to put them to a mortgage broker. So here we are, here we have Will, and I'll let him introduce himself to you.
Hi there, my name's Will. I'm a mortgage expert at Habito. We're a free online mortgage brokerage.
Cool, so I've got all your questions here, so I'm going to fire them away at Will and then hopefully get all of them answered for you. So if I'm looking to buy a house within the next 6 to 12 months, what should I be doing now? Okay,
well, the first thing I would suggest is speak to a mortgage broker. What they'll be able to do is tell you how much you can borrow, and they'll give you an idea of what's going to cost you on a monthly basis. The second thing I'd look to do is just review your credit history. Lenders, when you apply for a mortgage, will do a credit search on yourself, and they'll look at this to see if there's any missed payments. So get an idea of where your credit is at the moment, and you can go to Equifax, Experian, that will be able to provide you with a report. I would also suggest having a look at your passport, making sure that that's currently in date. You'll be surprised at how many passports have expired, and when you come to apply for a mortgage, that can cause problems.
Oh, I did not know that, actually. Learn something new every day.
Great. Make sure that your addresses are updated on your bank statements. Again, that can cause issues later on down the line. It's also really important you understand other costs. So it's not just the deposit you're going to need for a mortgage. There's other costs like stamp duty, valuation fees, solicitors' fees that you need to consider as well. So you'll need those on top of your deposit. What I'd also suggest is just having a look at, once you've got an idea of how much you can borrow, does that fit in with where you want to buy? Are you looking for a new build property? Are you looking for leasehold properties as well? They have different criteria, and there's different costs associated with leasehold properties as well.
So as a whole, irrelevant of how much I want to borrow for a mortgage, on an average, how much would you suggest that I would have available for the cost of the fees when I'm going to apply for a mortgage? Okay,
well, I'll break them down. So the first upfront cost when you apply for a mortgage is a valuation. Some lenders will offer a free valuation, but if you have to pay, a basic valuation is about £200 to £400, depending on the property value. Now, there are different types of valuation you can get, and your mortgage broker will talk you through which is the most appropriate for the property you're looking to buy. But you get a basic valuation or a slightly more in-depth valuation. The more in-depth, the higher the cost. Solicitors' costs, usually they charge around £300 up front, and I would say £2,000 is more than sufficient to cover your legal costs. Mortgages sometimes have arrangement fees. They can be added on to the mortgage balance, so you don't necessarily need to pay that up front, but obviously you pay interest if you were to add it to the mortgage. Typically, they're about £1,000 or so. Another cost to consider is stamp duty. If you're a first-time buyer and you're looking to buy a property below £300,000, then you're exempt from stamp duty, which is a saving of about £5,000. Anything over and above, you would pay a bit of stamp duty. There's plenty of websites which will give you stamp duty calculators, so it's really important you review that as well. Broker fees. Some brokers will charge up to £1,000 for their advice. I would always recommend looking for a broker that doesn't charge any fees, because that's one less fee to worry about. One key cost I would say is make sure you've got enough money for the housewarming party. That's the essential cost.
Okay, so as a first-time buyer, which mortgage would you recommend is best?
So I would say mortgages are based on your circumstances. So I'd never say there's a set type of mortgage which is suited to first-time buyers. What we tend to find is a lot of first-time buyers go for a fixed-rate product. They might have come from rented, where they're used to paying exactly the same amount each month. Therefore, a fixed rate would give you that stability of payments, so you know exactly what you're paying on a monthly basis. One thing I'll think about is, are you looking to move in the next 2 years, 3 years, 5 years? Is there going to be any changes to your circumstances? For example, a change of job, or are you looking to get married, children on the way? These are all factors that you need to consider when thinking about what product is most suited to you. Again, your broker will talk you through what your plans are and what is the best product for you.
Okay, so what does a mortgage broker actually do?
Okay, so your mortgage broker ultimately, they're there to give you advice and they're there to arrange your mortgage for you. However, don't feel you need to have a property in mind. If you just wanted to know how much you can borrow, they'll talk you through that. They'll provide you with the maximum you can borrow, the monthly costs, and they can also give you something called a mortgage in principle, which is something in writing which just confirms how much you can borrow. Once you've found a property and you've got an offer accepted, they'll search the market for you to find the best deal, and they'll also show you how they've sourced that product, and they'll tell you if there's any better for you, and obviously you can go direct to the bank if the broker can't access that product. They'll submit the application to the lender, and they'll deal with everything right up until you've got your mortgage offer sent out by the lender.
How much does a mortgage broker cost? Are they expensive?
They can be, yes. Some will charge up to £1,000 and beyond, but there are a number of brokers that don't charge any fees whatsoever. So I'd certainly recommend going for one that doesn't charge a fee.
Yes, if you go for a free mortgage broker, they're not getting a worse service than if you paid for one.
No, not at all, not at all. Any good broker, what they'll do is they will highlight what is called true cost. So they will show you which product is the best for you, taking into consideration the initial interest rate, any fees associated, any cash back. So if there is a better product, they should be able to show you the better product. So therefore you can actually see for yourself, what you're getting and what you're missing out on potentially.
Okay, so how does a free mortgage broker earn money?
Okay, well, all mortgage brokers will earn money from a lender. It's called a procuration fee. It's clearly highlighted on an illustration, and it will show how much the lender is going to pay the broker for recommending or referring a customer over to themselves. So they make money from that proc fee that comes from the lender. Brokers that charge, they will get that in addition to their proc fee, and it's a complete myth that you'll get a better service if you pay.
Okay, so what's the best way to find the best mortgage deal?
I'd always speak to a mortgage broker. Mortgage comparison sites are great. However, they're not always going to tell you whether you're eligible for that specific product. Also, what lenders will do is they'll highlight their lowest rate, and that doesn't always take into consideration any fees that are associated with that product. So what your mortgage broker will do is they will work out which is the best product for you based on what is called true cost. And that takes the initial rate, the monthly cost, it takes any associated fees, and they'll be able to show you which one is the most cost effective for yourself.
Okay, so that's it for this week's video. Thanks so much for watching. I just want to say a massive thank you for sending in your mortgage questions. It's been a massive insight into the world of mortgages, and I hope that it's helped you find out everything that you wanted to know. Also, thanks so much, Will. Really appreciate you letting us sit down and ask you all the questions that everyone from Money to the Masses has had. So as ever, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on our social media, our Facebook, Money to the Masses, our Instagram @Money to the Masses, and our Twitter @Money to the Masses with the number 2. Thanks so much for watching, and see you all next week.